Hello movie lovers, welcome back to Movie Buzz. My name is Jenae, and on today's show I get to chat to actress and radio personality Dineo Lusenga. We're going to talk all about the new movie Nomfundo, as well as the awards it's been nominated for, and of course Dineo's upcoming theatre piece. Dineo, thank you so much for being here on Movie Buzz. We love having you here. Let's first chat about the short form Nomfundo and your character. You play the lead. Tell us more about what she goes through and why we should watch.
Sure, Nomfundo goes through a lot. So Nomfundo is pregnant with her first child. She's married to Albert, and she's literally betrayed by the two most important people in her life. And we now have to question, the relationship between her and her husband, the relationship between her and her mother, and now the relationship between her and her unborn child. And we tell that through the narration of the story, because the narration is done by the child who's still unborn. So yeah, it's an interesting film, and it was a very challenging character to play, because it's very supernatural as well in terms of the storyline, where there's an interaction with Nomfundo and her late aunt. So we were exploring themes around, mother and daughter relationships and wife and husband relationships. So it was very interesting.
So I guess that's where the proverb comes from in the trailer.
Right.
Am I right? Because I didn't really understand, but now you've completely cleared that up. Where did the inspiration come from? I understand that you and Sihle Klope worked together and started this whole project by yourselves.
Yeah, so what happened is I was in LA studying, and Sihle came up to screen her film As I Am at the Pan-African Film Festival. And we hooked up and we started hanging around, and we went to Wits together. This is the thing, right? But we had never worked together. We've only done like one student production, which was horrible.
So we all have to start somewhere. We've all done it.
So we thought, we've never worked together. Why aren't we doing it? So she came back home. This was 2015. A month later, I was back as well. And then we started brainstorming a film that we wanted to make. At the time, we didn't know what the film was going to be about, but we knew that we wanted the protagonist to be a woman, because this was a film made by two women. So the script changed a lot. The direction of the script, the direction of the story, the direction of the character as well. They all changed a lot until we arrived at the final script for Nomfundo. The inspiration behind the story, I always find that to be a very challenging question to answer, because it was inspired by a lot of things. It was inspired by knowing that we wanted this woman to be the victor of her story, because we were so tired of seeing women being portrayed as victims. So I could say that was the inspiration for the story. People may beg to differ. They'd watch it and probably think, I don't know, but we always say that it's open for interpretation. So once you see it, you can kind of make up your own mind in terms of what you take from the film.
Now, I understand that you guys came together and you had no budget, so you decided to go and turn to crowdfunding. How did that work out? I mean, obviously it worked out really well, because you've got this film, it's doing so well. Tell us more about that whole process.
So we decided that we wanted to make a film, and we wanted to make a film right now. So having to apply for funding and waiting to, for feedback and for results was going to take forever. So we thought, let us put in our own money to shoot the film, and then we'll see what happens. So that's exactly what we did. Sihle and I put in some money together, and we literally had to go around asking people for favors. The entire crew that we had making the film, shooting the film, no one was paid, right? So we had to beg people, say, please, we have food, we have transport. That's all we have.
They had to see your future vision.
Exactly, and we were so blessed to have people who believed in that vision and the dream that we had for the film. So crowdfunding came later on, after we had shot the film, because we have a film, but we don't have money to edit the film, right? So we then went on to Thunder Fund, and we begged people for money. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. So the money that we raised from crowdfunding was just enough to go do some pickups, because we realized that there were things missing from the film. So we went, had an extra day of shoot. That's where we used the crowdfunding money for. And then we went back to the NFVF and said, okay, so we need serious bucks here to get into exactly post-production. So NVF came on board, gave us the money for post-production, and we were eventually able to finish the film, which was end of Feb this year. So it took us 2 years to complete like a really, really short film.
And then let's talk about the future for you as an actress and some exciting projects that, that we are looking forward to seeing you in.
Yes. So in the spirit that Nomfundo was made in as well, acting and directing, our industry depends a lot on it's a waiting game. We all sit and hope that someone's going to call you and give you an acting job or a directing job or whatever. So the same way we made Nomfundo is the same way I'm getting into my new venture, where I'm thinking I would like to do theater and I'm not going to audition and wait for someone to give me a job. So I'm creating my own theater piece. So I'm currently in rehearsal.
Oh, exciting.
Ooh, scary. It's a one-man show. It's a one-hander. I'm working with an incredible writer and theater director, Kuja Green, and we are currently in rehearsal. It's called Mirage, where we're looking at the other side of marriage.
Okay.
I'm not married, but we are interrogating a lot of the decisions we make behind getting into a union with someone else. So we're asking a lot of questions about that, and we don't know when it's going to be staged yet.
But you will definitely let us know.
But I
I'm
will
sure.
let you know, yeah.
Well, that's so exciting. Lastly, and briefly, the film has done so well at festivals all over the world, and it's been nominated recently. Quickly tell us about that.
So, yeah, we've done a lot of film festivals. Our first one was Helsinki Film Festival in Finland. We then did the Black Star Film Festival in Philadelphia. We've done here at home the Josie Film Festival. We did Schnitz in Cape Town a few weeks ago. We did Zanti Women's Festival in August. We just did Red Bull Amapico, and we were nominated for a Baobab Award in London, and the awards were this past Sunday. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but a nomination was big enough.
Well, thank you so much, Dineo, for coming through and featuring on Movie Buzz. Really appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing the theatre piece, Mirage.
Yeah.
Good luck. Next week, we'll be catching up with actress Mila Guy and her latest Afrikaans comedy coming out soon. See you then.